Hey everyone, this is Lawrence at Dirty Basement Terrain with another quick tip for you. Now, we've all used or have thought about using different texture paste um, released by companies like such as Vallejo and others, and they are great products, but they come with a price tag that I don't always like to pay. So what I want to show you with four basic ingredients, actually you only need three of them, but four basic ingredients, you can make your own cheap alternative that I use quite often, texture paste. And the thing is, as long as you can keep it sealed up airtight, this will last you for a while. I've had a jar that I've had for 3 months, and occasionally I've had to add some extra water or PVA to it to extend the life, but the stuff does last as long as you keep it sealed. Stay tuned, I'll show you how I make it.
Okay, the ingredients for this are very simple. We're going to need some drywall compound or spackle or whatever you want to call it. I'm adding some burnt umber craft paint for color. You don't have to. I'm adding some tacky glue or PVA. I prefer aliens. Some sand. And that's it. First, of course, we want to pop open the spackle, scrape it off into the jar that we're going to be using. I'm going to be adding maybe about half to 2/3 full of the jar because there's no real scientific method to making this. It's just whatever looks good to you. But the ingredients are what matters in this, and how thick you want it. And next, of course, I'm going to be grabbing the PVA and getting maybe about a quarter to a third of the jar. Well, more closer to a quarter. I need to leave room for the other ingredients. But again, this is no exact science to making this stuff. And of course, mix and mix and mix and mix. I just want to make sure I get a good consistency, even between the spackle and the glue. Like I said, there is going to be a lot of mixing with this. Now, I just want to add the craft paint. You can add ink or whatever color you want, but I'm trying to do this on the cheap, so I'm going to stick with some craft paint I picked up at Walmart. Again, this requires a lot of mixing. There's no way of getting around this. If you don't give it a thorough mix, it's honestly going to wind up looking like crap. Of course, with the color I add, it kind of looks like that anyway. And now, this is what I like to add, just to give it a little extra texture to the product I'm making. This is a personal preference. I'm adding a bunch of sand just to give it a little grit, honestly. I know a lot of people will say, well, this is mortar sand that I got from work. And some will say, well, the grains are too big. Well, you know what? They're going to be semi-smoothed over by all the other ingredients. Now, I was mixing. It was just a little too runny for my taste, so I got some out of the jar and decided to add some more of the drywall compound, or spackle, whatever you want to call it, and just mix it up to a thicker consistency that makes me happy. As you can see, it's getting there. And you can see the sand bits in there. Not really pronounced, but I like to have it in there just for that texture. Now I'm going to take a little small piece of foam, slather on a little bit of a test piece, just so before I start using it on actual terrain and stuff, is how I like it. Again, once you get the hang of using this, you won't have to do this step, but I'm just doing this to show you guys. Test it first before you use it. And the thing is, if you keep this airtight sealed jars, it's going to last for a while. This is a little chunky, but I've had this for 3 months, and it's still quite usable. I could just add some extra PVA, and it's good.